And the first one that I use is, I think it's pretty valuable, is the hard round brush. And I know you guys say, oh, the brown brush or whatever, but this one is 100% fill. It's like 100% the color that you use is 100%. And this is great for silhouettes. It's great for filling flat colors, doing flat colors. And I think it's great if you also use, for like, you can design shapes with this one. I use it for other things, but it's just like very clean and easy to use. And the part that I like more about this is that they are, because it's 100%, then your wrist is gonna thank you. Like sometimes I want to feel something, but then I have to go a couple of times over until I feel it. With this one, boom, it's done. I know this is what I want, and it's great for, like, placing values, so you do know the value that you're putting next to the other one is flat, which is great. The other one is the rounded one, and this one has a little bit of a fade, and it's kind of like, it's when I want to blend a little bit the colors, have some of that. Nothing special with this one, very easy, whatever. The other one I use is for a lot of blending, and it's mostly blending, and it's a soft brush, nothing out of this world, but this one is very soft, so it's pretty good, has a nice soft edges, so it's great for blending skin tones and blending different colors, very smooth. It's great for transitioning between a hard edge to soft edge. Right, so you can have like a nice soft edge, and then with the other one you can have a hard edge, right? You can have a hard edge here, and then you can like make it like this, and you can have a soft edge, so you can blend better the color, or you can add another extra color in between the two to transition it with a soft color. And there you go, right? And the next one is the one I use a lot. It's basically the brush is a hard edge. So we have a hard edge on this side, and then on the other side is more of a soft edge. A soft edge, right? And this is great for anything. I sometimes use this for line art. By combining them with smoothing. If you know smoothing, if you go to window, you go to brush settings. I think I explained this last week. You brush settings, and then you have here at the very bottom here has like smoothing. So once you have smoothing, then you can have some. If you crank it all the way up, you can have some very clean lines. So it's very useful. Especially for hair, it's great. For lettering, it's great. So, smoothing. So I use that. I use this one for lines, and I use them for shading. Kind of the same. Like I can use this here. Notice that I have more of a hard edge on the left side, so I can go with this and create a nice edge, and then a soft edge on the other side. And if you go very softly, you can create a nice transition between them. So, I like this one plenty. So it's great for rendering hair or rendering other things. So you can use it however you want. You can go very, very small and do a lot of detail with this. So it's great. I use that a lot. The other one, I start getting into more of like textures. I like to use some textures on and off. Sometimes these are not the ones that I use at the beginning. Sometimes I use them in the middle of the process. Maybe I want to block something like this, and then add other textures on top. I go very, very light. This is kind of the brush shapes. So I'm gonna go light with this and dark here, You know, you can start overlapping some of those textures. You can change the size too. You know, like instead of using an image, you can use that brush. It's just a general brush for texture. Nothing out of this world. Nothing special. All right. Yeah, I can talk more about the hard to soft brush and all that. It's not that difficult. It's just where you want to have the transition. I'm gonna go quickly for this. I have another one, soft blender. Sometimes I haven't used it in a long time, but basically it's a round brush, but with soft edges around it. So yeah, I guess if you use that around here, it's gonna have something similar to the soft brush that I use. The one that is the soft brush, the first one I showed you, is way wider and it can cover a lot of area and very smooth. This one, I think it has more of a circular shape. This one, it has more of like way more softer spread, which is like nice for skin tones and stuff like that, or adding some gradients with different layers like multiply or overlay and stuff like that. Okay, then I have a mixer brush. I don't have it. Remember this one. This is just more for textures. Nothing special, to be honest. But sometimes it's good to build it, to build your paintings. Maybe for the background you can use it. Maybe for parts of the clothes that your character use. It can work that way. You know, just to have that little like. You know, blending the colors, like building on top of each other. Nothing special, but it has a nice texture. You can use on the backgrounds, like I said, or the clothing, or whatever you want to use it. Then I have hard granite. This is more textures. And this is nice. This is nice for skin tones, like that. And use some nice freckles. Because very easy to control texture for sure, and you can do something pretty nice there. Okay, and then I have I call it BB. I don't know why, but this one is great because it has a lot of detail. It creates a lot of. It's more of a brush that I use on top of something that is already done. I wouldn't block shapes with this. I will use this. This is gonna be more for like refinement and yeah, more for refinement. So that I use it more for like, I don't know if you guys can see, but it's very soft and maybe I'm overusing it. You have to go it's very subtle. So I'm trying to like show it without being so too overwhelmed here. Get a little bit close. So it has that kind of pattern texture, and then the good thing is that you can use it like with dark values and then with light values. So the light values can show, so you can mix that. It's like a mixing with dark values and then have a lighter value. So it's kind of like a building like a wall. It feels more like a wall, right? So yeah, you can use that for anything you want, basically. And just to build some textures, and then on top of it you can clean it, whatever. It's just good. This is a coverage text, more texture. Is it more wild, more punk? You know, you can block full shapes in there. Feels more like a jungle. You have to experiment how you will use it in your work, but definitely recommend you to start using more texture brushes if you're already using it. Nice. I use them. I combine all of these to create what I want. You know, it's just fun to use it. And then I have another one. It's called Test. This one. That's another one. It's a little bit more. To be careful with this line. Some of them they work better with lower opacity, you know, something like that. Yeah, this is nice, right? So it works like this, and some more textures there. And the other one is chalk, and I think I use this for drawing. Yeah, sometimes I use it for drawing, sometimes I use it for more texture. Like this is nice. Sometimes I use it for my gestures, for drawing. Because you get tired of the same kind of brush, right? So I mean, at least I do get tired of that. So you can change it for something like this, or build some kind of texture, blah blah. And then the last one, I use it for highlight textures. So let's go here to this because I built something, and this one is just this shape. Let me get this. It's just this. This is the brush. But when you use it for highlights, so you want to use it here, and then go a little bit lighter in color, and you can start creating some kind of texture, like skin texture maybe. And not only for the highlight, you can also bring the shadows you can combine them, right? You can bring some of the shadow, and you can bring some of the light, some of the highlights, and you can go pretty small, create something like this, and get very intense, or you can do something more big, or you can mix it with different ones. So it's about overlapping all of these colors and create interesting things. And that's it. That's mostly the brushes that I use. I have other ones that are clouds, and I have a lot of different ones that I use. But these are the ones that I would use the most, especially the first one for painting. Like you see me painting with the round one, and the first 4 ones are the ones I use the most. The texture ones are when I want to do something quickly, some quick texture, and that's it. So yeah. That's the brush tour. It should be there in week 2, so try it out and experiment with it, mess with it, use the smoothing as well for strokes and stuff like that for line art.